Hey man, shout out to the UFC this weekend, sneaking in a good fight during NFL draft weekend. Now we know how crazy coverage has been, and shout out to everybody that's been tuning in for that. But Dominick Reyes versus Yuri Prochazka, man, at 205. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed this fight. Now, first off, a little backstory. We know Dominick Reyes has challenged for the belt in his past two fights. He obviously fought John Jones and took him to the brink. Like I said, some people think that he won it, but that's neither here nor there because we know the result was John getting the W. Then from there, we saw him fight against Jan Blachowicz as well. But obviously, he hasn't had the same level of success that he had in that fight against John Jones. But then you get him against Yuri Prochazka, and now this was intriguing because you have the number 3 contender in Dominick Reyes versus the number 5 contender in Yuri Prochazka. And Yuri was a guy who came over to UFC a little bit later, took more of the Justin Gaethje approach, right? But in this fight, man, you see two guys who stylistically they match up. Number one, Dom is good on his feet, right? He has a nice jab, good right hand, good left hand, control the distance that way. Then you have Yuri, who good chin, but does take a lot of shots solely because of how he fights, right? He keeps his arms low, but he is a very active fighter, very good striker as well. So you get this fight and you're seeing these two guys go at it, and I'm enjoying it because early on, even though Yuri is getting off, and I thought that Yuri was controlling the fight for the majority of that first round, actually hurt Dom a little bit as well. I thought Dom was still in the fight because of that jab, because of his ability to land some shots to ultimately get Yuri's attention. But the big thing was, I don't think that Dom could hurt Yuri to the same extent of which Yuri was hurting Dom. Now you fast forward to the second round, and then we really see something start to happen that made it interesting. Dom hurts Yuri a little bit in that second round, which ultimately led to Yuri taking the shot and trying to take it to the ground. Almost got him submitted, man. I thought that Dom had a nice little guillotine in there. Wasn't deep enough, but overall was a good move right there, especially countering the shot. But then from there, you just see Yuri just continue to pour it on. I thought at times Dom looked a little bit sluggish as well. Now, I don't know if it was because of the broken nose or some of the heavy shots that he had taken. Obviously, his eye was swelling up. But as a whole, he looked like he was slowing down a little bit in that second, whereas Yuri just kept his foot on the gas. And ultimately, some of the shots that he was just being able to create was more so based off the volume versus timing it and a whole bunch of technique necessarily associated with it. But as a whole, Yuri just had a nice flow going on. Then you get to the ending sequence, spectacular fashion in terms of the right overhand elbow coming down, and then Yuri just, as he says in the post-fight interview, it wasn't planned. He was just flowing, right? He throws the right elbow, and then from there, he's like, man, let me throw this spinning back elbow. Connects perfectly. I'm talking the most beautiful spinning back elbow that you're going to see. As soon as it hits Dom, Dom lights instantly shut out. He's out before he hits the ground. Shout out to Herb Dean rushing in there and making sure that he didn't take any unnecessary blows afterwards. But man, just a beautiful ending sequence right there. And I thought that that's the type of statement that you would want to have if you're Yuri. If you're going to have this fight against a guy who's, fought twice for the belt now, you want to make sure that you do something spectacular to ultimately get him in line for that next title shot, which he is now. We obviously know that it's going to be Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira, but the winner of that fight, that's who Yuri is going to get the opportunity to fight. So I'm excited about it. I think that he matches up well with either of those guys. Glover, who's made this like fountain of youth resurgence, right? Being able to just ultimately challenge for the belt later in his career the way he is. But then we obviously know what Polish power is. We saw what he's been able to do to his past couple of opponents. That dude is on a mission. So either way, I'm excited, man. But let me know how you feel about that upcoming fight, man. First off, like I said, Glover Teixeira versus Jan Blachowicz. If you think do you like that matchup? Do you like Glover getting that opportunity for the belt? Do you think Yuri should have jumped him and got the opportunity for the belt? And then obviously, how do you think Yuri matches up with either one of those guys? But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. And until next time, baby, peace.